Shalom, shalom. Beloved family, beautiful Mishpaka. I wanted to briefly speak a word of encouragement to the nation of Yisrael regarding this Shavuot. I know some of us keeping it on different days. You know, Yahuah has yet to fully bring us all into the fullness of understanding this calendar and these days, right? But one thing Yahuah has done good on is his promise to gather us and to wake up the remnant. That's what we're going to be dealing with on Shavuot. We're going to be dealing with the manifestation of the sons of Yah. We know who we are. We know whose we are. We know that creation groans, waiting for the manifestation of us to take our rightful place as rulers and judges and stewards of the earth, right? So I really just want to, I'm not going to go deep into that today. I'm going to save that for Shavuot. But today I do want to just briefly talk about this time period of the counting of the Omer. Man, we're counting how Abba Yahuah has blessed us. We're counting every blessing. We're remembering the accounts of how Abba Yahuah has looked out for us. Here in the land of our captivity, he has made good on his promise, right? He has blessed us with homes, shelter, food, jobs. He's blessed us with family. He's blessed us with health. He's blessed us with abundance, right? Happiness, right? For those of us who are married, he's blessed us with companions. For those of us who have fathers and mothers outside of the wicked demonic holidays, right? He's blessed us with family, man. He's blessed us with mothers, fathers, sons, daughters. He's blessed us with a tribe. And he has awakened us to who we are and whose we are. So that's got to be the mindset going into Shavuot, right? The men, we present offerings, as well as the women. But for sure, the men lead their houses in presenting a righteous offering unto Yahuah on this feast day, as well as on unleavened bread and Sukkot. This is one of those big three, right? The big three, where we bring forth our best. We bring forth, especially in this one, considering the counting of the Omer, we bring forth the offering that really was supposed to have begun during first fruits, Bikram, right? So I just want to say, this is not a time period to be focused on what you don't have, right? It's not a time period to look at the bank and see, your balance and to go into fear and trembling. Because Abba Yahuah already knows what you have need of before you ask, right? He's a good Abba. He's a good father. So he's not going to leave you empty-handed. And he's not going to put you in a predicament to where you have to fear what to do next. This is why Hamashiach said, when you pray, our Father who art in heaven, Kodesh is your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, right? It's not a fear. You're not asking in fear. You're not asking in trembling and in disparity as if he's just wicked and wants bad for you. And I was just telling y'all on the Shabbat, it's not all bad for the remnant. You are not in trouble. Yahuah is not angry with you. Especially those of you all who are, to the best of your ability in your knowledge, turning to the Torah and putting your trust and your hope in our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach, who is one with the Father, and living according to his Torah, his commandments, right? Following the instructions for your spiritual well-being. You're doing these things. Why would y'all be mad at you? That's crazy. That's a slavery type of mindset. That's a slavery mentality, right? And that's what Abba Yahuah has made good on his promise in freeing us from. We're no longer in bondage. Yeah, we might have to work certain jobs. Yeah, we may physically still be here in Babylon, but guess what? The bondage is over. That's why you're seeing the Moreh El Chanok. You're seeing the division, a house cut, the Hebrew root for that word, the Hebrew root letters for that word, Moreh El Chanok, that name that the prophet Yeshayahu gave his son, goes back to Baz. Bet, representing the house. Zion, representing to cut, or a weapon to cut off, to the plowing of. A weapon that plows, that cuts off. So when you put it together, it's the cutting, the severing of a house. That's what you're seeing in this nation. Where we are still here, right? Being in the awaiting, in the time period of the redemption of our nation. So I just wanted to point that out, man. Like, it's definitely not that time to fear. It's not that time to be fearful. It's not that time to be, again, pessimistic. You got to be optimistic. You got to be looking towards what is, and grateful and thankful, and operating in a spirit of gratitude as we enter into this feast. Because this feast, a lot of people don't understand, what it's about. But the seven, the completion, it really is a sevening of the it's really a sevening of the covenant. It's a solidification of the covenant. That's when he gave us the Torah, right? That was when he stood on Mount Sinai and he gave those commandments, which is really like, I'm gonna talk more about it on the feast, but it's really like our Constitution, right? He gave the way that he desired for us to dwell and live as a nation under him. And that's to rule and to govern this earth in righteousness and in truth. And so we're blessed. I've been talking about the remnant heavily over the past few months, really. But man, the true idea of blessing is your connection to Abba Yahuah. And knowing that even though you might have to go through pressure, that pressure is doing nothing but making that connection with Abba Yahuah even that stronger. Same thing it is when you in the gym lifting weights, right? That pressure you lifting the bench press ain't doing nothing but making them chest muscles stronger. Ain't doing nothing but making those back muscles, those biceps, those triceps, those calves, those quads, right? Those abs, those obliques, whatever muscle that you working on is making it stronger. I'm telling you, that's what this time period is as we are awaiting the return of Hamashiach. So again, this is a word of encouragement for you to count those blessings. You could have nothing. You could be deprived of truth. You could be one of these people out here still keeping the blasphemous, demonic holidays, right? You could still be one of these people out here still breaking the commands and not having any idea who you are and whose you are. You could be out here operating in ignorance and perishing, not just physically, but spiritually. So again, this is just a word of encouragement, man. We entering into this feast happy, in joy, hallelujah, in strength, in power, in gratitude, thankful that Abiyah's protection and his covering is over us throughout this time period where these heathens go to war with each other, right? That's the beast wars, that's their business. Our business is to keep our eyes and our ears and our ruach focused on Yahusha. That's still the word, that's still the message. That's been my prophetic message, and it's going to stay the prophetic message. It's focus on Yahusha, which means to what was Yahusha focused on? Yah, Torah, fulfilling his purpose, his assignment in the earth. Loving Abba Yahuah with all his heart, all his soul, all his mind, and all his strength. And loving his brother, his neighbor, just as such. So, I just wanted to encourage y'all, man. We going into this feast in happiness, in zeal, in power, in might, not in fear, not in bondage, right? But in love, in expectation for Abba Yahuah to deliver on every single promise, because he's already delivered on a lot of the promises that he's already given us, right? So again, this is a message of encouragement. Abba Yahuah is pleased with the remnant. He's looking to bless you abundantly, above and beyond, exceedingly abundantly, above and beyond. And this is to the remnant now. This is not for the individuals that still operating according to the Babylonian way of life and living according to the ways of the heathen. No, this is for he who was set apart in truth and righteousness and being consistent in your effort of meeting the needs of Abba Yahuah. So I just want to put that out there, man. We definitely still gonna deal with Father's Day. I'm gonna probably do a live on that. I wanted to do it today, but it just wasn't the time. Yahuah had something different for me. I was looking in the news, and I don't always look in the news like that, but I see where Trump and Elon Musk is going back and forth. I see where it's riots, and the National Guard is in California. I think they in LA because they mad at the immigration thing that's happening. Look, Moreh El Chanok. Yah is making good on his promise. And what that means for us is that our time of deliverance draws nigh. Zion. So, again, I just want to encourage you that it's not all bad. It's all good. And to count your blessings. Because Abba Yahuah, look, what you got right now, what you seeing right now ain't nothing compared to the fullness that's coming. Hold on, Zion. I love you. Shalom.